All right, so yesterday we looked at finding surface area of prisms, and now we're going to add in cylinders. So we'll talk about a new formula today, but separating out these two things. Okay, right cylinders, what do you think is the difference between right and oblique? We talked about this yesterday. Yes.
Right is straight up and oblique is slant right.
Okay, so we have right angles in the right cylinders, and oblique are kind of tilted over a little bit. Okay, what are the bases on these shapes? They are circles. Okay. How do we find the surface area of a cylinder? What are we adding together? Two circles and a rectangle. Okay, imagine, we talked about this before, the net of a cylinder looks like this. So we have two circles and the rectangle that wraps around it. Okay, what's the formula for area of a circle?
2 pi r.
Nope.
Pi r squared.
Pi r squared. So we're going to do pi r squared. We're going to double it because there's always two circles on a cylinder. And then area of the rectangle, which rectangles have base times height. But we talked about this a couple of sections ago. How long is the base right here? The circumference of the circle, right? So the circumference of the circle is 2 pi r. So instead of writing base, here's our new formula. The lateral area of a cylinder is 2 pi r h. Okay, that's on your formula sheet.
So that's how we find the area of the whole cylinder?
This will find the area of the rectangle that wraps around. And then we'll add in the two circles. Okay? All right.
Couldn't we still just do base?
Nope. We're going to use 2 pi r h. So here's what all of them are going to look like for cylinders. Okay, we're pretty much going to have the same headings. You can call it top bottom or you can call it circles. And then we have our lateral area. Okay, the lateral area, remember, is everything but the bases, which means in a cylinder it's that rectangle that wraps around because the bases are the circles. Formula for circles, we just reviewed this, is pi r squared. So we put the radius in there. What do we get for the area of one circle?
50.27.
Why do we times this by 2? Because there's two circles. So we get
145.
okay. So we found the top and the bottom, but we need this rectangle that wraps around the cylinder. We just learned a new formula for that. LA equals 2 pi RH, 2 pi, and then we put in the radius and the height. Okay, the radius is 4, height 14. Someone help me out with this with a calculator. All right, but we need the total surface area. So what do we do with these? We add them together. What is that? Centimeters squared. Questions? Okay, the work is going to look pretty much the same here. We've got circles and the rectangle that wraps around. area equals pi r squared. What do we put for the radius? Okay, don't put 5. 5 is the diameter. So we got to cut that in half. What's the area of a circle? What's the number?
19.6.
Okay, we'll double that because there's 2 circles. What do we get?
39.626.
All right, LA, our new formula for the day, 2 pi RH. Again, don't put the diameter in. So we've got a radius of 2.5. What's our height?
10.5.
Remember that the height doesn't have to be a vertical distance. This cylinder is laying on its side, so the height ends up being on the bottom. What's our lateral area?
164.92.
Yep.
Couldn't we do it like pi dh also? Instead of just 2 pi r?
You could do pi d, but this is the formula that's going to be on the formula sheet. Because otherwise you'd have to memorize another formula that's not on the formula sheet, which you can do if you want to. What's our total surface area? 204 point what?
19 meters squared.
We have one example left. Are there questions on this page, though? All right. Sometimes they're just going to ask for the lateral area, so make sure that you're paying attention to that. That will happen in the homework. So if they just want the lateral area of something, it's everything but the bases. And on a cylinder, we just have one formula for the lateral area. 2 pi RH. So 2 pi, and then what numbers? Mm-hmm. So that is?
150.85.
Okay, so sometimes that's all they want. So make sure you read if they want surface area or lateral area. If they want the total surface area, what do we need to add in? The 2 circles, okay, because we found the rectangle. So the circles are pi r squared. Radius is, so what do we get?
50.27.
We double it. But that's not the total surface area. What do we have to do? We have to add in the 150. And we get?
251.29.
Inches. Questions?